somebody who's 60, but I'll be 40 in April. So, it is what it is. But Browns, Colts, and you have Browns 3-2, Colts 3-3. This game is probably one of the best under the radar games that you can get. It's no star power here. Let's keep it real. The star of the game is Jonathan Taylor, right? But Jeff, you know how if you're a TV producer or a marketing person and you're trying to sell a game, to sponsors, this one is the game that's the hardest sell because you don't have a superstar to really, maximize here in this one because your superstars are hurt. Deshaun Watson is still a day to day situation. I'm thinking that they're going to do everything possible to get Deshaun on the field Sunday, but they're going to figure out. But it'll come down to how he looks in the warm up, and I think that they're probably going to wait another week before they bring Deshaun Watson back out because they can afford to not have him again this week. So I think you don't force that situation with him, and you figure out a way to where you can possibly get DTR put back into the situation as well too, and maybe split plays and things like that, or split series with PJ Walker because I want to see more of DTR. We know who PJ Walker is. PJ Walker was a big reason why they were able to win that game. You needed to have a veteran to throw in a different type of a look, a different type of aspect to that game. But this week, I feel like this is more of a game where you can afford to have DTR out there with you, and he can actually kind of do the same thing that Anthony Richardson was doing for the Colts for the Browns this week. So that should be the option that they're looking at. But I think that their biggest thing is to get Watson ready for Sunday. I think they know this is the type of game where Watson can come back in and he doesn't have to do too much, as they work him back into the lineup. But they want to make sure he's 100%. They want to make sure there's nothing impeding him coming into this game. Now, when it comes down to who has the better defense, of course, it's the Browns, the number one defense in the league. And this defense is good enough to the point to where they can actually win this game 9-0, Jeff, 9-3. They only had to score any touchdowns to win this game. That's how good the defense has been. They just need to figure out ways to score points. That's it. And I think that the Colts have an innovative situation going, but it's only with Anthony Richardson. Gardner Minshew is a shell of whoever he was when he was losing in Jacksonville, but winning fantasy championships, I guess, because everybody has this Minshew mania thing. But I was like, when did they go to the playoffs during that point when he was in Jacksonville? Never. So, pretty much he's just been a high stat quarterback. That doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. And we've been seeing, Jeff, high stat quarterbacks not be successful at all these last few weeks. So, when it comes down to this game, I feel like this is going to be the Browns' best defensive effort, and it probably would be better than what they did against Tennessee a few weeks back. So I like the Browns in this, Jeff. I think that they don't need to score more than 17 points to win this game. They just need 17 points. They can win it. So your thoughts and who do you have winning the game?
I have a 2 with a 39, which obviously isn't a Deshaun Watson number. At circa right now, 1.5 with a 39. I should be following your lead, obviously. It's a perfect spot for that for the Browns here. What I'm afraid of is, again, no Watson. PJ Walker played a great game against 49ers. If you were on the Colts last week, it's almost one of these, you got to go back on the Colts again this week, or the same with the Browns. But I think it's a perfect letdown spot for the Browns, believe it or not. It should be a game, though, that they use to piggyback and propel them to keep winning until Watson does come back. I think everyone got starstruck when the 49ers came into town versus the Browns. This was a Browns team that was pissed off that Watson wasn't playing, has been medically cleared, bye week to get ready, and quote unquote he can't play. So the defense took it upon themselves, says, don't worry, we'll take care of this. And I think if Minshew plays like he did last week, the Browns roll here by double digits. I went contrarian here, Pops. I took the Colts +2 for no reason whatsoever. Peyton Manning isn't coming through that building. Marshall Faulk isn't coming through that building. But it's the crazy play right now. Give me the Colts +2 and pray.
Well, hey, Jeff, you know why? I know why you're taking them, Jeff. It's easy to see why you're taking them. They're going to be at home. And this is the type of game that favors a home team because it's really, you don't know who's going to win the game. It's a 50-50 game. So if you want to be smart about it, you usually just take the home team because the home team's going to be a dog as well, too, a little slight dog as well. Why not? You know what I mean? Seriously, because I always feel like you're in good hands when you have a home doggy dog. You're always kind of pressing it a little bit with the road guy, you know what I mean? But at home, you always have the luxuries, you know what I mean? And that's one thing that the Colts do have. They kind of play outer body at home, and I know that's what you're looking at as well, too. That's exactly what the Browns did Sunday against the 49ers. So,
I want to add this, too. I read this, and you know what? As much as I like to dog this guy, when I was watching a lot of this game, and it was on a lot of the time, PJ Walker reached out to Jacoby Brissett and says, hey, can you give me any help here, any pointers? And Jacoby told PJ very simply, when Amari Cooper is one-on-one, just throw the ball up there. Give him a 50-50 shot, and most likely he's going to come down with it. And my point here is Amari Cooper was amazing on Sunday. Made some great catches, moved the chains, made some catches that he had no rhyme or reason or making. So as much as I like to, he disappears. A good friend of ours, Brady Tinker, who does a lot of work for the Dallas Cowboys, talks about Amari Cooper when Brady would go into the locker room. Amari Cooper was the one not there listening to music, not there being boisterous like the rest of the locker room. He was in the corner with another player playing chess in the locker room while everyone else was listening to music and doing whatever they want to do. So he is definitely a different, wired differently. And I just thought he was pretty special on Sunday, Pops.
Oh, he was key. He was strong. And Jerome Ford, regardless, if you got Jerome Ford on your fantasy team, you have a blessing because Jerome Ford can get you 90 yards a game. He can get you minimum. He can get you at least 90 because he's gonna bust a big one. Every game he's gonna bust a big one because Jerome Ford is a speedy back, and what they wanted to do, they wanted to make it thunder and lightning. So Kareem Hunt had to get in shape. A lot of people just think a running back can come right off the couch and just be the man. But we know Kareem Hunt had to get in shape. He was eating that extra ice cream, them extra burgers. He didn't have any training camp or anything like that. It takes about 4 weeks to get back into true NFL shape. And it seems like he's back. He's getting back into shape as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. But let's jump into this Lions and Ravens game. This is probably the game of the morning. No, it's not probably. It is the game of the morning, man, because